We are obsessed with Color Guru. You've heard us talk about it on the podcast. Sorry we keep talking about it, but it is the greatest service. It's basically an expert that tells you exactly what looks best on you. They analyze your hair, your skin color, your eye color, and they match you with your ideal color palette for clothes, but also for makeup and also for life, right? Like, Jess, this has infiltrated my life.
I have to tell you, I did the quiz. It was so much fun. I got a whole email and an actual card in the mail, 2 cards that explain which colors look good for me. And I hung them up in my closet. I refer to them daily. Now I know which colors look best on me, clothing wise, but also makeup wise. And I have to tell you, I think I look better.
Yeah, me too. I'm a winter, Jess is a fall, but it's not just winter and fall. There's these subsections in there, and the Color Guru gives you a lot of the reasoning of why you look good in certain things and why not. So then you can apply those principles. It's not just like, I must wear red. It's like, oh, let me think about the clarity of the color. I learned a lot about color theory.
It's almost as fun as your zodiac sign.
It is. And you know I'm not an astrology person, but I am a Color Guru person. And if you want to be a Color Guru person too, we can help you with that. You got to go to colorguru.com. So color, GURU.com. You'll discover your best colors. You can use our coupon code. We'll give you 10% off if you use the code FATMASCARA. That's 10% off when you enter the code FATMASCARA at colorguru.com. Hello and happy holidays, everyone. It's me, Jen Sullivan. As we warned you, we're taking a short break for the holidays, but Jess and I will be back on January 6th with a new season of Fat Mascara. So to round out the year, we're replaying some of our favorite interviews, and I cannot believe there are going to be some of you out there who have not heard this one. It is truly one of Jess and my all-time favorite Fat Mascara interviews. We're talking to Ian Ginsberg, the president of C.O. Bigelow, which isn't just a bath and body and fragrance and skincare brand, which you may have heard of. It's also an independent pharmacy that's been in business in New York City since 1838. So like his father and grandfather, Ian is a pharmacist. And let me tell you that he has heard every question from his customers. So he shares some anecdotes from C.O. Bigelow's storied past. But we also asked him to bring some of the top questions he gets from customers so we can do a little myth busting, like whether sulfates are really that bad for you and if you can take a probiotic while you're on antibiotics. This guy knows everything. It's such a good episode, and I'm so excited to share it with you now because it's one of our favorites. We're here with Ian Ginsberg, the president of C.O. Bigelow, which isn't just a bath and body brand, which I know a lot of you guys know about. It's also an independent pharmacy that's been in business for 170 years.
181 years.
Oh my God, I got my math wrong. Ian, welcome to Fat Mascara.
Thanks.
Okay, so we asked you to come on the show because we want to go through some of the common and actually less common customer service questions you get. But before we get into that, let's talk about this 181 years. And this is like a family business for you too,
it's
right?
It's a family business for 80 years.
Tell us about the history of C.O. Bigelow.
So most apothecaries in post-colonial America were founded by doctors. So ours was founded by a guy named Dr. Galen Hunter, and there's a plaque in the store and it says Vermont physician Dr. Hunter, as the Village Apothecary Shop. And
as in Greenwich Village in New York City,
yep,
right?
Yeah, same block. And
where is it so our people can find it?
So it's on 6th Avenue between 8th and 9th.
It's been there for
181 years. So we were 2 doors down. That was the original store. Dr. Hunter had it, passed it on from employer to employee. A guy named Clarence Otis Bigelow took over in 1880 and changed the name. And then in 1902, he built the building we're in today for himself. And if you look outside, it's called the Bigelow Building. And so we've been in that building for 117 years. It was continually passed on from employer to employee, and my grandfather found it in 1939 and bought it with his brother-in-law. So this is the 80th year it's been in the family. So I'm 3rd generation, and I have a son there now, a couple of years already, who's 4th generation.
And are you a pharmacist?
I'm 3rd generation pharmacist. My son is also a PharmD.
That's so cool.
Yeah, crazy.
So as one of the few independent pharmacies still in operation, you provide services that CVS or Walgreens cannot. Can you give me an example?
It's so hard to explain because unless you're in, so hopefully when you walk in the door, you feel very different.
I definitely feel different when I walk into a Bigelow. It's super chic, but very cool and old timey and very New York. I feel like I'm in a Woody Allen movie.
Well, we try. I mean, I felt years ago when I got there in the 80s, the chains were starting to come. And I kind of thought that they were everybody had some experience, some great experience about going to the pharmacy with a family or with a mom or a dad. And I thought that the chains were taking that away. They were starting to turn it into a commodity. And I said, we have this history. Let's keep that experience alive. So it's really, I always say we're in the feel-good business. Our job is to make sure that everybody walks in the door, no matter what they're there for, whether it's beauty or pharmacy, walks out feeling great. They learned something they didn't know before. They got educated. They felt better about something.
But you also do like homeopathic tinctures that have to be whipped up special, right?
Yeah, well, we still compound.
Compounding, that's
we
what
still
it's called.
compound prescriptions for people, and we do
pets, right?
And pets. We flavor medicines for pets.
That's so sweet.
Put anything in liquid form for them. We flavor stuff for kids. And then we do carry homeopathic medicine and essential oils. And, if you want Tylenol, you still have to ask for it because we want to have a conversation with you. We want you to say, hey, I don't feel good. Can you help me?
Oh, isn't that nice? That's why customer service is your thing. But Jess and I have known you now for a little while, and you've often talked about how I'm just going to ask you about celebrities, and you can talk about dead celebrities too to make it less awkward.
Right.
But a lot of the celebrities that live in New York City apparently go to your pharmacy because you were saying you can't just if you're like Brad Pitt, you can't roll into Dwayne Reed and then the Dwayne Reed pharmacist knows everything you get, right? So you have some high profile clientele.
Well, we kind of take care of everybody, and part of it is just because they trust us, and for lots of reasons, but also because now everything's electronic. So you go to the doctor's office and you leave, and this thing is sent through the air somewhere. And you don't know who's looking at it, and then you don't know where it's going to. So I think people trust us. It's the same, the people have been there forever. Our pharmacists are amazing.
But you've had over the years some famous notable names, right?
Oh, sure. And
like who?
Well, it started back in the day. Mark Twain was a customer, and Eleanor Roosevelt was a customer, and Mrs. Condé Nast was a customer, and then through the years, in the 70s we had rock stars and the New York Dolls and the Belushis and all the Saturday Night Live people.
What was John Belushi's pharmacy building?
Well, we used to have a soda fountain, and back in this, we took it out in '84, and all the Belushis lived around the corner. They lived in one house together, and they used to sit at the fountain and eat. And it's crazy.
Can I ask, why did you take the soda fountain out?
Everybody asked that question. It was at the time it was falling apart, also in those days, they owed a lot of money for taxes. It was a concession. We didn't own it. It was the same group of guys that ran it. But in those days, the state would just come in and take the money. And the fountain really needed to be rebuilt. And the guys who ran it were running it forever. And they were beat up and tired. And they didn't want to run it anymore. And there were plenty of people that wanted to take it over. But it just kind of wouldn't be the same. It was like this thing in history that just needed to either just go away the way it was. We made a decision.
I feel like, can I just tell you, I feel like it'd be a good idea to bring it back.
Oh, I'd love to.
Wouldn't that be so much fun?
Reminds me of your ice cream.
This is what I'm saying.
She wanted to make it. What was the business idea? We've talked about it.
Milkshakes and makeup.
Milkshakes and makeup.
Okay, that's a great idea.
Because I bet you had egg creams, didn't you?
Egg creams
with
and
old-fashioned
milkshakes.
seltzer sprayer thing.
You know what the trick is? It's
What?
You bounce the seltzer off the back of the spoon.
To make it frothy like that?
To make the egg cream. So you put all the ingredients in, and then you with this as the soda jerk, would do the seltzer, and they would bounce it off the back of the spoon.
I did work at Friendly's, so you and I could...
Really? Fribbles?
Yes.
We talk about Fribbles a
I feel
lot.
like I don't know. I feel like you and I have something together here. We can really
the fountain
make some magic.
The fountain was legendary.
Oh, all right. Well, we got our soda tip. It's obvious just from the fact that you know all that customer service means a lot to you guys. So we kind of wanted you to cull through some customer service questions. But first I have to ask you, how do people reach out and ask you these questions? Do you keep a log? I know you're going to share some of the ones that you've gotten over the years, but is this emails you're getting, phone calls? How's it work?
Well, people walk in or they call on the phone.
People still go into stores, and they ask in person.
No, they people will sit on their couch and they'll Google forever, but then they want validation. So then they'll come in and they ask us the same question. They want us to validate it. Or the funny thing is, I on the weekends and on holidays, you get these phone calls as the pharmacist where they're sitting around the table and they're fighting over something stupid, and they'll go, "Let's call the guy at Bigelow's. He's going to know."
Totally.
And then we get the question. But people still, everything has to be asked for in our place, and they kind of trust us. And people walk in the door and just ask us anything. And the pharmacist-patient relationships are a little different too, so they're not afraid to ask anything.
And obviously, this isn't you asking Google because we know you know what you're talking about. about. You, for example, are a pharmacist. So let's get some answers. And also, I'm going to have to ask you how some of these questions came out. But the first one, I know you've been prepped a little bit, but the first one was about antibiotics and probiotics. And such an interesting question. Can you tell us what the question was and what you have to say about that?
Do antibiotics cancel out probiotics, or do they kill probiotics?
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
And logically, it's a very good question.
I actually wouldn't even think about that.
True. And now probiotics are all the rage. And, the doctor tells you should take some probiotics with your antibiotic, but then those antibiotics eat probiotics.
You really have like Greenwich Village's like intelligentsia calling you, don't you?
Yeah, because it's not, these are, in the West Village, you have fairly intelligent people asking you fairly intelligent questions that, probably need and still don't believe what they read.
We're going to believe you. Tell us. What's the answer?
So, probiotics means pro-life, and everybody's been taking them now. And so they're organisms that are live that kind of help you do a lot of things. So we know they're safe. Or we think they can do some help. So the truth of the matter is, yes, antibiotics kill all types of bacteria, and they kill off the normal flora in the stomach. And so you want to eat probiotics because they replace some of the flora. And antibiotics will kill off some of them, but they don't kill off all of them. All of them. And so you want to take probiotics, but you don't take it at the same time. So if you take an antibiotic, it sits in your stomach for a little while, it dissolves, then it gets absorbed, and then you can take probiotics and put them back.
So say you got a Z-Pack because you've got some sort of like bacterial infection. You would pause on your probiotic supplements, or you just don't take them at the same time?
Don't take them at the same time.
Got it.
So 2 hours before, or really ideally 2 hours after, because if they go in the stomach and the Zithromax or whatever pack you're taking dissolves in the stomach at the same time, it's just going to it's going to kill off.
You just wasted a bunch of probiotics.
Yeah.
All right.
That's great advice. Okay, I've got another one. Now this is one that Jen and I get all the time, constantly. Somebody goes to buy a beauty product or something. They come up to the counter. Does this have parabens in it? Because I don't want them.
I hate that question.
But you seem to get it a lot. You told us you get it a lot.
We get it all the time, and when they ask me, they get a crazy answer, because I think we're now all taking them out, but I think their parabens are amazing. They're
when you say we're all taking them out, do you mean we as a culture? You mean you as a retailer?
Beauty product companies are starting to take them out of. Everybody's taking them out and replacing them with things. But parabens are amazing preservatives. Someone said something to me years ago. My wife and I are involved with breast cancer organization and stuff, and someone said, preservatives are efficient means of feeding 7 billion people on a daily basis, right? And we all want to take it out. And now we have measles back because they don't want to vaccinate. And now all of a sudden we're getting MRSA because we're not cleaning things. And so preservatives are great, especially parabens have been proven over and over to be great against all types of, gram-positive, negative, all these things. And keep
gram-positive, negative, all these things?
Gram-positive bacteria, gram-negative bacteria.
Oh, gram-positive. Yeah. I thought you said grandpa.
No.
Okay.
All bacteria and mold and yeast, and keep products stable for a long period of time, so you can open and close it and use it and not worry about it getting
funky,
going bad and funky. And then, there was one study or two studies that weren't even controlled studies that called them out as being bad, and we can talk about why. And all of a sudden, the world went crazy, and so the hysteria is far surpassing the science. And so the cosmetic companies are like, enough already, we'll find something else. But the other ones are okay, but frankly, they're not really as good. And,
the other preservatives.
Yeah, the other ones.
What are these two studies? Were they just like journalists took them and like misreported?
Yeah, why are these studies so credible to the beauty industry?
So because people are freaked out by cancer. So one of the studies goes back maybe 15 years, said that they found paraben in its normal state in breast tumor tissue.
Right.
But truth of the matter is, we're eating parabens in food. Parabens are in a lot of things. We're eating it all day long. And yes, and we do excrete them really quickly because we know that by science. And they're not really sure what it was, they're not really sure that it was doing anything bad. They just know it was there.
Right.
The other thing there
was no causation.
No causation and no control. So they weren't comparing against anything else, just that. And it was small. And the other thing is they say they're people talk about endocrine disruptors. Yeah. So they do mimic estrogen, right? But we don't know if that's not that it's bad. We don't know if it's doing anything bad that way. If it's an estrogen sensitive tumor, and not all of them are, we don't even know if it's contributing to that. We've never studied that part of it.
Our guest last week was talking about her estrogen-positive breast cancer, and for that reason, she was being careful.
Right.
But you can't extrapolate that parabens cause cancer.
Right. We can't extrapolate that if it was there from your cosmetic product. If it was there, that it's doing that if you have an estrogen-sensitive tumor, it's doing anything. And frankly, you know what has more estrogen activity than parabens? Soy.
Oh, I was right.
Soy.
Thank you. I should have a podcast.
For the win. And, we sell natural progesterone creams, and they're soy.
Yeah.
So, but the world went crazy, and people came after cosmetic companies, so we started to move on to other options. But frankly, they're not as good. And I don't know if we'll be in the same boat 10 years from now with phenoxyethanol or the other ones we use.
The other parabens.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the other
preservatives. The other preservatives.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's good. And I'm sure when an irate person comes into the store, you have to do that very politically correctly when you explain that.
They've already
made stay for the whole thing?
They've made their mind up already. So I try to, I always find it necessary to educate if they catch me on the floor and they ask me and I go, let me educate you. And I try to take them through it. But sometimes they'll listen, sometimes they won't.
Yeah. You do what you can. Actually, a couple of questions you get are these same kind of people have made up their mind already. And one was sulfates, which are, tell us what sulfates are and why your customers are always asking if things contain sulfates and if they're dangerous.
I love sulfates. We make a lot of shower gels. We make hand washes and shower gels. I love me some sulfates. Sulfates are surface activators. It's how it's when we started with cleansers years ago that were oils. We remember in high school chemistry, like dissolves like. So we used emulsified oils to Castile soap to cleanse our hands. And then we got chemical surfactants, surface activators. So they go on your, you add a little water and they foam up and they break down oils on your hands, on your hair, on your body, and that's how you clean yourself. So sodium lauryl sulfate, sodium laureth sulfate,
they're like foaming agents.
They're foaming agents, and they're surface activators. They break down oil. Somebody got in their head that they're dangerous. Nobody ever said they were cancer causing. The only thing I think some of the groups out there say is that they're irritants. So yes, if I squirted a shower gel in your eye, it would irritate your eye. But
what about the fact that they might be drying? Some hair companies say don't put them in. They dry out your hair. They leach color from your hair.
Well, they are detergents. So I guess if you color your hair, maybe you want to use a lesser detergent.
But it's not because they're dangerous. It's just because it's...
No, not at all. It's like with kids, they make tear-free shampoos, right? So tear-free shampoos use surfactants. They just use and detergents, but they use lighter ones. But you couldn't use those on your hair like a Johnson's Baby shampoo, let's say, because kids don't make a lot of oil in their head, so they can use lighter detergents. But if you have oil, if you want to wash your hair and get oil, and clean out the dirt and oil, you probably need a little harsher detergent. But yeah, if you have color-treated hair, anything that's going to irritate, it's a detergent, so you're better off using something milder, but it's not dangerous.
But you, as someone with science training, says sulfates are not dangerous.
Not at all.
Okay.
And I don't think anybody's ever claimed anything otherwise other than they might be irritating.
It's crazy where these rumors get
started. So if you sat in a bathtub full of shower gel without water, it would irritate your skin, of course. I mean, if you sat in a bathtub of a lot of things, it would irritate your skin.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay, now here's another one that we just talked about a couple of weeks ago with a doctor, but it comes up all the time. I need something for my dark circles, but I'm surprised that this comes up to you. Can I use a bleaching cream or do you sell one? You're really hearing this?
Yeah, people want to bleach. They think they can bleach the dark circles under their eyes with a bleaching cream.
Oh, like a hydroquinone?
I don't know where these people are stumbling in from.
Like Jolene cream bleach or one of those, yeah.
Do you mean mustache bleach?
Yeah.
People think that'll get rid of under eye circles?
Well, it's a skin bleach because
these people need help.
People use it as mustache bleach, but hydroquinone, 2-3% can also be used for age spots, right?
Okay.
Over time because it breaks up melanin and stuff. But yeah, so people, they want to know if they can use a bleaching cream for dark spots.
And what do you say?
Well, we try to, again, we're the apothecary and we want to explain to people that dark spots are generally, it's pooling of fluid and it's from,
not dark spots, under eye darkness.
Darkness
different from
eye.
Like an age spot or melasma or whatever. Okay.
Yeah, that's blood vessels in your eye. And so, the skin around your eye is very thin. So when it fills up with fluid, it gets blotchy and then you have blood vessels under there. So if you have a night drinking or if you don't get a lot of sleep or if you sleep on your, with your face down on the pillow, so we say, no, bleaching cream's not going to bleach that. You can use a concealer, or you can do normal things like use cucumber slices, or use an astringent like witch hazel on a pad, or a little ice.
What do you like witch hazel for? What's that?
I love witch hazel.
Yeah, why?
Witch hazel's like it's one of the it's a natural astringent. It's been around forever. That Dickinson. Everybody knows what that black and that black and yellow bottle looks
God,
like.
I haven't used witch hazel since
it's great.
the 80s.
Astringent means antibacterial.
Well, so it shrinks pores. It acts like alcohol without the drying effects. So it's great. You can use it as a toner. It tones skin. It balances skin. It'll shrink. Just
temporarily.
Temporarily. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'll tighten you. So if you put...
I'm not ready to get on board with this witch hazel under the eyes just yet. But
no. You put witch hazel on like a cotton pad and you put it over your eyes. It's a great astringent. Yeah.
I feel like that would sting.
No, not at all. Witch hazel's mild.
I mean, you're the pharmacist.
Some people use Preparation H as an astringent too, right? Under their eyes.
Yes, I have heard that.
Right.
It's is that a vasoconstrictor? I forget why people do that.
Yeah, it's an astringent. It's a constrictor.
Yeah. And what do you think? Is that a good idea or not?
It can hurt you, and it could possibly work. Yeah, it shrinks the skin a little bit, temporarily.
So want to be a fly on the wall and see Bigelow apothecary. Okay, so next up, a lot of these are things people really wonder about and are common questions. But you offered this up as something that you've been asked, and I don't know where this question came from. But somebody wanted to know: can you help me find a kidney-colored lipstick?
Sick.
First. Is that a common question?
Not a common question,
Okay.
but we do get. I mean, we get questions like
this
that.
is an amazing
This is a
question.
good
Tell
one.
me the story.
No, so one of the team said that somebody said they wanted a kidney colored lipstick, and I said, like you said, I said, what color? I'm in the medical field. I don't even know what color a kidney is.
And like which animal's kidney? Like a human kidney?
I guess a human kidney. What they really want is a reddish brown, evidently. But I don't even know where the context.
Why am I rubbing my kidneys from the outside? This is so gross.
I keep thinking, what's the movie Silence of the Lambs?
That's like
what's his name is over here.
Anthony Hopkins.
It's Anthony Hopkins. He wants a kidney-colored lipstick.
Yeah,
He's like fava beans or something.
I feel like in beauty editor job, like someone like a junior editor would be like, "Oh, it's a kidney-colored lipstick," and I would have crossed it out and been like, "Brick red will work here," or like terracotta maybe.
That's really funny.
Yeah. Okay. So did you suggest?
She said yes. So she had come up with one of them was an Ellis Foss, and one of them I forget what the other one she told me was, but yet she actually knew exactly. But
Ellis Foss Cosmetics. You sell them in the.
They make. She knew. She gave me the name of a color.
And where's the number? You don't know?
I have it written down if you want me to find out.
I mean, we'll put it on the blog. We have a lipstick that matches your kidneys.
Yes.
Okay.
But
Thank
she knew
you.
but she's we sometimes we have to go down the crazy train with people.
It's holiday shopping time, and I'm just going to get it all done at Origins. Origins is the pioneering nature-infused skincare brand that has elevated gift sets that will surprise and delight everyone on your holiday shopping list. Origins creates transformative skincare with naturally derived ingredients to noticeably improve how skin looks and feels.
I like your plan, Jess. I'm going to do the same thing because I love that Origins has a long history of commitment to our planet. They reduce waste, they care about our natural resources, and their gift set cartons are plastic-free, recyclable, sourced from responsibly managed forests, and for every tree harvested, new trees are planted. Love that. To date, the brand has planted over 2 million trees around the world, so you can feel good about the gifts you're giving this season from Origins, like their bestsellers gift set, which I actually just am gifting to myself because it has the most amazing travel size stuff. You get the frothy face wash, the checks and balances, clear improvement, charcoal mask, mega mushroom, a little ginseng. Don't you love ginseng?
I love ginseng. That's my favorite franchise.
Oh my God. I know it works on my skin, but also I just love the smell so much.
So fresh.
There's also eye cream, fortifying emulsion, like all this great stuff. And it's $45. And they have all sorts of other gift sets too.
Excellent. So get Origins gift sets today, available at origins.com.
Let's talk about dating. There's nothing like finding someone you can be fully yourself around. And Jess, I know we're not dating, but it's that feeling, the feeling we have with each other. Like when I was dating, that's what I wanted. Just someone I could really be myself around. That's what eHarmony is all about. They help you find those people that just get you. It's not fake.
You could just kind of say anything. You don't have to just kind of like curate your responses or post the perfect photo of yourself. Just be yourself.
Isn't that refreshing?
It feels really good.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a little bit more about why you should get on eHarmony. eHarmony wants you to discover what real connection feels like. Their app helps you highlight more of your personality so you can meet people who like you for you, which is honestly an amazing feeling. And if you're ready to move past the swipe grind, eHarmony is the app that's ready to take you to that place. Their personality quiz is designed to highlight more of your personality, not the curated one. It's not about quippy one-liners. It's not about that perfect photo. Get ready to meet people who you can actually connect with. It's a great feeling.
You get to find someone who gets you. Who doesn't want that? Start a conversation on eHarmony today, and it's free. Download the eHarmony app now. I feel like I'm just going to call and ask that question just for the hell of it to like mess with them. All right, what else we got?
Okay, so do you have any 100% natural, that word again, nail polish? 5 free, it's just not enough.
You're 5 free, 7 free, 9 free, 10 free. I mean, again, it's one of those educating things. Like nail polish has got to have, it's got to have a pigment. It's got to have some type of a cellulose, right? It's got to have some type of a plasticizer to make it, pliable. And it has to have some type of volatile thing to dry, to fade off into the sunset so it dries on your nail. And so, yes, we've eliminated some. So they used to have formaldehyde. They got rid of formaldehyde. They got rid of, toluene. They got rid of that. And then now they've gotten rid of most of them, but they're still, they substitute one, volatile thing for another, right? So so people do ask us for 100% natural. So we try to explain how nail polish works. You have to have.
So it's impossible to get.
It's impossible. Even the ones, and I did some research just because I was, for myself at one point, and even the ones that say they're water-based, they have to have something in there to disappear into the sunset.
There's some kids' nail polishes that are like water-based.
Yeah, but they have a little more water and a little less, but there's still a volatile thing in there, some type of an ether that has to evaporate.
Can I offer up an answer too? Yeah. Just from making curry recently, turmeric will stain your nails. I'm not sure that's the color that you want, but wouldn't that be a 100% natural pigment for your nails?
Yeah, but it won't be shiny and go.
No, it looks horrible. You have walking around with yellow nails, but it technically colors them. Just saying.
Well, it's kind of funny. People they want, but then give them. It's like when we talk about sulfates. They want something without. I give them a shampoo that doesn't foam, and they can't get enough sulfate again.
Yeah. So, do you guys sell nail polish at the?
We do, but we're finding more and more people just go. Everybody's getting their nails done, so we're not selling a lot.
I see. They're not touching up at home as much.
Not so much.
Okay.
Our customer. I hate to be snobby, but like our customer doesn't polish her own nails. I don't think.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
Okay. So some people are also looking for cruelty-free, vegan bath and body products. And then you made this note that someone had written in or called, beeswax is okay. You can pet them.
Yeah, well,
what's the story there?
Because everybody's a different vegan. Like, how vegan are you?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Some people are vegan, but they're okay. Some people are hardcore where like they it's not truly vegan unless it's got the leaping bunny on it.
Right.
Some people are vegan, but their beeswax is okay because bees are okay. Some people. So people are you have to kind of identify what level vegan are you. And I was, when we look around for vegan, there aren't a ton of vegan, like truly vegan products out there. And some of them say vegan friendly. And we're kidding around.
What
in
is
the
vegan
office.
friendly?
I don't know what that means. What does it mean?
Are more people asking for vegan products?
Some people are. Again, what's kept us alive is we really know our customer. And so we get questions and we try to satisfy everybody, but we don't, the hardcore vegan is, going someplace for hardcore vegan stuff.
Yeah.
Occasionally they'll walk in and ask, but there aren't a lot of true, there's not, and even the vegan stuff has plenty of chemicals in it. So are they okay with chemicals, but they just want it to be vegan? Are they, it's tough. So even like there's some vegan deodorants, but there's plenty of chemicals in them.
Yeah.
But no animals were killed in the making of them.
Well, and then no animal product.
Right.
No animal byproduct. Animal killing, that's a whole different...
Right. So it's not a byproduct, nor did an animal die to make it.
Right. Or beeswax.
And I recently, this is probably going to stump you, but Jess might know. I heard recently that anything with fig is not vegan.
Some people think that figs are not vegan, and I forget what the reason is.
I believe a wasp dies when it pollinates. To get a fruit of a fig, one bug is killed in the making of that flower and that fruit. Somebody please at me if I'm wrong. But it's interesting.
I can't confirm this, but it sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah. I know you don't like to dabble in wishy-washy science.
No, but then that's why we have to define what kind of vegan are you.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, I'm a wasp-friendly one, so.
Right. Or are you a pescatarian? Or what's the other one they call it? Nothing with a face?
Oh, is there a name for that?
Yes.
I don't know what nothing with a face is.
Yeah, I thought
Do
there was.
bees have faces?
Sure they do.
Sure they do.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then that's another question. Does a bee have a face? I guess it,
I think it has a face.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
I've
so.
seen them.
Welcome to our philosophical podcast.
Yeah. No, it's and welcome. Sit on our side of the table with that.
Okay, so here's another question. I'm sure you get this from a lot of nervous people. How do I pass a drug test?
That's it. Yeah.
Asking for a friend.
That's a question.
And what's the mood like? Like, tell me like what this person is like. Like, what's the profile?
Well, it used to be like a secretive question, but I think now it's more people are more comfortable asking. But yeah, so my son's friends may call him and say, "How do I pass a drug test?" Or a friend of a friend may call, or I'll get a call from somebody, or people will just call you on an afternoon. They don't tell you now. Used to be they wouldn't ask you face to face. Now they're kind of comfortable just telling you, "I need to pass a drug test. How can I do it?" It's and I tell them if the company wants to find it, they'll find it, right? So you can try, but it's not easy to beat them. The pod or weed is a good month. If you're a smoker, it's a good 30 days before it's totally out of your system, but they can't find it on a urine test. Most take urine tests now. And if you're going to try to drink a lot of water to beat it, they test the sample and it says it's dilute. And they'll just
what about these kits they sell online? So
so some of them sell artificial. You can buy artificial urine online.
Oh, I thought it was like a kit. Like you drink this thing and then your pee is clear.
Oh, yeah, that's what I thought people do. Like they take like pee clearer. Like
they try a whole bunch of different things, right? So there are these pee clearer things, but frankly, it's in your it's metabolized at a certain level. You can probably try to speed it up, but if they want to find it, they'll find it. I don't know how great those things work. Some people try to buy artificial urine. Some people try to eat take a ton of Golden Seal and drink gallons of water for days.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Golden Seal. Yeah, people take Golden Seal, but
that's an herb, right?
Yeah.
What does that do?
It's supposed to help speed up the metabolism of it because drugs are measured by half-life. It's the time it takes to excrete it. Marijuana has a long half-life. It's like a week, and it's generally 4 half-lives for you to clear it out of your system where it's really not that detectable.
So that's why you said a month, 4 weeks.
Yeah. So pot's the longest. Other drugs are shorter. But it's hard. If they want to find it, they'll find it.
Do you think
you mean if they want to? I don't understand.
Like the threshold levels.
The threshold levels. It depends on. Some companies will do a more stricter test.
Oh.
Some will do it. It depends.
They're like, let's just make sure they're not like a total stoner.
You'll see a level, and we drug test our employees too, and I'll get sometimes we'll get a test back that'll say dilute sample. They tried to drink 5 gallons of water the day before, and they know it's dilute. They measure.
What if you're just really hydrated?
Yeah, well, maybe.
That was my New Year's resolution. Maybe I have diluted sample right now.
And maybe you drink. Yeah. They test the temperature sometimes. They'll it depends.
Oh, because people will pour in.
Oh, well, they use artificial, but then people will buy. I mean, people go to really crazy extremes. They'll buy a urine bag from us because we have a medical supply place. And they'll fill it with, or they'll take somebody else's, right? And they'll keep it in their bodies to get it to body temperature.
And then just squeeze it out into the...
Yes. If they're being watched, yeah.
Where will they buy the pee? Like
you can buy artificial you can buy artificial urine online.
But wouldn't it say like women, like if I'm a woman, wouldn't it be like male pee?
Yeah, you can buy male or female pee, and you can have a friend.
Wouldn't it be like black woman's pee and I'm like a white woman?
No, I don't know if they'll go that far. I don't know if they'll go that far, but you can also have, people have friends.
I don't know what it...
Like, what can you tell from a person's
Yeah, like that's
pee?
what I mean. Like, or like in my 30s will be like 50-year-old like pee.
No, in a regular drug screen.
Like Russian man's pee. Like, I don't know.
It's not a doctor's, it's not a doctor's screen. It's just a drug screen. So
it's not a DNA or a blood sample. It's just urine.
Why are you saying it's just urine? I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Though, to be honest, she's right. I'm sure some like blood, skin cells would be in a sample or a white blood cell here and there.
On the drug screen, they're just screening for drugs.
Right,
they're not doing
but technically, if someone took that pee, they could figure out who you are.
Absolutely.
Well, let's put our tinfoil hats on and get real crazy with this.
Yeah, don't bring that to the doctor's office for a regular screen. But for a drug screen, they're just, they're testing for marijuana, they're testing for coke, they're testing for other stuff.
Okay, but so a month usually you need to.
But yeah, for pot, it's a good month. If you're a smoker, a good month.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, I think we've all learned quite a lot from this. Okay.
A lot of information.
Oh, we're at our last question before we get to talk about you and some of your favorite products. This is somebody asked you, how do I use a bath sponge?
Yeah, so the background on that is guys will come in, they'll say, I use way too much shower gel.
Okay.
Like, how do I use less shower gel? And we'll say,
I thought this was for like geriatric.
Yeah, I thought it was
stuff.
sponge bathing we were going to talk about.
No. We can talk about that. But no, it's guys say, like, how do I, I use way too much shower gel. Like, how do I use less shower gel?
Like they're burning through it and they want to get their money's worth.
Yeah, and so we'll say, like,
is this a common question from men?
Yeah, we've gotten it a bunch of times. Yeah, and they'll say, well, use a bath sponge or like one of those
What do
nylon
they do?
things.
Just pouring it in their hand?
Yeah. Pouring like a hand. Like
You'd go through a Dr. Bronner's in like a week if you
Absolutely.
did that.
Yeah, because you need a lot of that.
Yeah, right, because it has fewer, gentler
Because that's
surfactants.
that's a Castile soap.
I do
yes.
love Dr. Bronner's. Okay, so what kind of sponge do you recommend?
Like one of those nylon things,
Don't they get really gross? We've wondered this.
They do if you don't hang them. So you need to hang them so that the water drips out of them because then they'll dry. But if you have them like sitting on the counter where the water just sits there, that's when they get like funky.
How do you feel about those yellow loofah ones that look like a sea sponge?
Those are cool too, but again, you have to hang them because if they don't dry out, then that's what happens when you don't use preservatives. That's what's happening inside. Those products you buy now that are in black bottles, so you can't see what's inside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what's going on inside.
Like mold is what you're saying?
Well,
You just don't know.
You just don't know. You just
Wow.
don't know. That's what happens when you don't use preservatives.
Okay.
Nasty.
All right. So you obviously get to try every product. Tell us some of the lines that you carry and other than your own products too.
Right.
We haven't even talked about CO Bigelow products.
Those.
Can we just talk about the rose cream that has been around how long? I want to ask you about your favorite products, but...
So we used to make a rose cold cream, which we don't make anymore.
Okay.
But that's been around. It was like the first product we ever made in the apothecary was a rose cold cream.
But you also make like a salve.
We make a rose salve. It's been around a
What's
lot
your
of years.
oldest product that's like...
Probably our oldest product is probably the lemon. Well, that's a real formula. It's probably the lemon body cream. And that's a formula. We resurrected it later on.
Yeah.
But that's been around since 1870.
and people can still buy this now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, the lemon body cream? You've never tried it?
It's pretty great.
It's like a meringue pie. It's
I love
delicious.
lemon anything.
And the kind of the basis of it is you would go to the apothecary, that was a place where you went to get diagnosed and treated.
Mm-hmm.
And so you'd go to the apothecary and you'd say, hey, my skin's really dry and can you have something for me? And the pharmacist would go in the back and mix up something. And so he would throw in, or he would, kukui nut oil and shea butter and make this moisturizing cream. And then we always want to put a signal in there that it's working, like make it refreshing. That's why a lot of old pharmacy products have like menthol and phenol and camphor. And so we put lemon oil and lemon extract in there because it's, it was refreshing. And
but without being drying.
Yeah. And then a little carrot oil in there for a little source of beta carotene. And all of a sudden we had this yellow cream that smelled like lemon. But it's generally a colorant, fragrance-free product that smells like lemon and looks yellow.
Gotta try
And
it.
that's one of our oldest products, and that's probably the most popular. And then the rose salve.
And those are probably. And what are some of your favorites? Not just from your line, but others that you sell. I know you said you were like the first to bring Marvis toothpaste to the US.
Yeah. I mean, I love taking kind of mundane tasks and making them really fun. So if you have to brush your teeth every day, it should be like, let's go to Tuscany or shave or,
Let's go to Tuscany every morning at 7 a.m.
to Italy.
and I start singing, singing in
that
Italian. Yeah, I use it every day.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Which flavor?
I like the classic mint.
Okay.
But
It's powerful. It's powerful.
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, it goes back to it's still in Italy. Everybody smoked, so their toothpaste was much more fragrant. And you brush your teeth. You want to kiss everybody when you walk to work in the morning.
Yeah.
So that's kind of it. Started as a Mr. and Mrs. Marvis going back maybe 30, 40 years. They had a women's version and a men's version, then evolved into this flavor thing. And we actually represent them in the U.S., so we distribute it. And it's a great family that's been making. It's the family in Florence.
What are some of your other go-to in the morning? What's in your medicine cabinet?
So we import this shaving cream from Italy called Perazzo. So I use this Perazzo shaving cream. They actually make ours also. I love Aven products. I think they make beautiful skincare that's really reasonably priced and pretty effective. So I like I use one of their products in the morning.
Which one?
I like their Physiolift eye cream.
Physiolift?
Yeah.
Fizzy lift.
Physiolift eye
Oh,
cream.
physio. Like physio
Yeah,
lift.
PHYSIOLIFT.
I was like fizzy lifting.
Yeah, Physiolift eye cream I like. Cleansers, I use Hours, or there's a Clarins men's cleanser I like to use.
What's the C.O. Bigelow one?
Deluxe Gentle Cleanser. So it's
Gentle
for
Cleanser.
normal to dry skin.
Okay.
Doesn't foam a lot, but it's kind of, especially in the winter when your skin's real dry and you're old like me, you need a...
Yeah. It sounds like a lovely mix of products.
Yeah.
What about men's fragrance?
So...
I feel like you're like a real gentleman.
I like eau de colognes. So I alternate between, I love just Acqua di Parma, classic. Yeah.
So
classic
nice.
Acqua
You
di
like
Parma.
the Italians, huh?
Yeah.
And I like Le Labo Bergamot.
Okay.
A
Nice.
very
Really
Italian
nice.
ingredient as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Everything's like fresh.
I like, because it kind of wakes you up and makes you feel alive. It's
You're like you're in Italy.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you're an energetic
And then I have pizza
guy.
for breakfast.
Okay, so what didn't we ask you that we should have asked you on our podcast as we come to the close here?
What didn't you ask me?
It's not a trick question. Just wondering if there was anything you thought of that is a go-to story or answer that we didn't ask.
No,
about.
I mean, I was born, I was born and raised there. It's been in the family for 80 years. My grandfather bought it with his brother-in-law. It was a family business. My father was born and raised there. My parents were both...
It shows. You have a lot of pride in what you do.
Oh, it's fun. It's the greatest job ever.
I don't know about some of those people coming in with those questions if I want to deal with them.
It's,
But...
I mean, we change, we have this great ability. We change people, we change people's lives every day. We're dealing with people, on the pharmacy side, we're dealing with sick people who their choices these days are so limited that, visiting the doctor is a miserable experience. Going to the chain store is miserable. So we deal with sick people. We make, we change their lives someplace where they're only friends. Right. Mm-hmm. And even on the beauty side, we like, we make people happy. So we either teach them something they didn't know, give them a little tip they didn't know about and send them home with something that's got an amazing story that they could tell all their friends about. Like, let me tell you about this stuff from Italy and, let me tell you about this stuff from France that they make by hand in this little batch. And so we're storytellers. We make people's day. So it's kind of a fun gig.
You made our day.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
coming
for
on
coming.
the pod.
Thanks. No, this is really exciting.
We'll pop by the store. Everyone pop by
Come
Bigelow.
by and visit us. Yeah. Pop in, say hello to Alec, my son, say hello to me. Say hello. We have a great team.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed the show.
It's your reviews and feedback that help us make the podcast even better. Head over to iTunes to rate and review us or email your thoughts to info@fatmascara.com.
We also want to answer your beauty questions and hear what products you love. To share a Razor One product review or to ask a beauty question, email us at info@fatmascara.
If you send it as a voice memo file, we can even share your voice on the podcast. You can also do that by leaving us a voice message. Our phone number in the United States is 646-481-8182.
Thanks so much for listening.